Finally. Hello everyone, welcome back to our next A.M.A session. And today we have Dinesh sir with us. He's a transformational coach and he is with us from California. So we are in two time zones right now. From India, we are in the evening, but in California, I guess it's morning. So we are experiencing two time zones with two different personalities, me and Dinesh sir. So Dinesh sir, it is a humble request. Please introduce yourself to our audience so that we can start our conversation today.
Thank you, Anshika, and thank you, Diksha, and all the listeners. It is a great pleasure and joy to join you all. It has always been my desire to work with younger people and people of all ages, actually. And it's very simple. I live in California, and I have my heart has always been between US and India. And I used to wonder why. And now I realized because I was always attracted to technology, science and technology in America. And I'm also attracted to the spirituality in India. So I've spent part of my life in India and part of my life in US. And now I'm visualizing maybe 6 months in India and 6 months in US. And there's only one mission I have: how to make this world a bit healthier and happier.
Wow. Oh,
That's my introduction.
that's an interesting introduction. Like half of the people are from India can relate to this because people are from India and going abroad to like just to have their careers on. So what made you go to US? Like it was for your career opinion or it was something other stuff for you?
Anshika, there was some net issue. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So my question was that like we Indians are probably migrating towards the foreign countries for our career purposes. So what was your aim to go to US? Why did you choose US to be your career destination? Or is was there any other reason for that? Network issue or it's like stuck.
Can you hear me, Anshika?
Yeah, yeah. Now you're audible. Yes, sir.
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, sir, no problem. So my question was like, what made you to visit US as a career option, or it was any other reason that you went US for your half of your life? What motivated you to migrate to US? So can you hear me? We need Geo in California. ASAP. So there were 2 days people are celebrating Janmashtami. So I celebrated yesterday. Yesterday 12 a.m. And today we just had lunch and everything and puja and everything. It was subtle today, but celebration was yesterday, and some
I'm
people are
sorry,
celebrating
I
today.
was disconnected for a while.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me right now or from now?
I'm sorry, the connection was lost. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You can are we audible to you?
Okay, so let's start over again. So you were asking me what motivated me in my journey early in the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was about 8 or 10 years old, just around that, my first question I asked myself is that why there is so much poverty with so much intelligence around, and that question attracted me towards technology and science and technology. So I did my engineering, and of course, I was attracted to US. This is the place for science and technology, and man has just landed on moon. So I was very interested. So I came to US, did my master's in industrial engineering, and of course, calling was to go back. So I picked up few ideas about quality. And I went back to India and worked with several companies, especially with Eicher group of companies, Enfield motorcycle, Eicher tractors, Eicher motors, and to improve the quality, because my belief was that if we improve quality, productivity, then we can eliminate poverty. And that was very successful experience. But on my personal life, my first wife developed a leukemia at that time, and I had to rush her back to US, and she went through a bone marrow transplant, and after 2 year ordeal, she passed away. And in passing away, again, it was a major shift of my life, because until that time I have operated mostly in my head, but that shifted me, their experience, and to my heart. My heart opened, and I had to raise two young daughters, and they were like at that time 12 and 10. And so raising them gave me a lovely opportunity to develop my yin and yin. So the feminine side, and as we always talk about, the male energy and the feminine energy. So I got a very good balance of those two. But my question remained that what can I do to uh, again make a little bit more India more prosperous, and the problem I saw there. And I realized that it's not technology; it's the mindset of people, and that is very important, because just imagine if overnight we change the mindset with a magical uh,
Magic
thing,
wand.
then suddenly people wake up and they are now very their whole attitude had shifted, and we eliminate poverty. But that was magical, right? So I said, what can I do? So with that, I continued searching. And in the last 30 years, I primarily got involved in my own search. And then I started working with other leaders of organization. And I learned a lot in this process. The more you give, the more you receive. Giving and receiving are the same thing. So that, in a short, that has been my journey in the transformational area. And there's always an entrepreneur in me. So now, what I want to do is to take this message of it's easy to be happy and healthy, and take it to as many people as I can in US, in India, and across the globe. So that is my mission now.
Wow. So here's an update, sir. Like you have said that the mindset of the Indians were not very good during the early 80s and 90s and early 2000s. But the update is that we Indians right now of my age, we youngsters are now shifting our mindset from being just earning hand to mouth. to just earning lots of prestige and money, just same as Ambani. So we have a big dream. We dream big. We dream out of our comfort zone. We do hard work. So yeah, so the thing that you're dreaming of, that happy and healthy Indians, such and the poverty-free Indians, we are on that path. So congratulations to you to us. But the wave is on. So we are doing great about this. But for talking about the health and the wellness part, yeah, I guess there is little bit of you can say declination, because people here are stressed out as hell. They don't care about their physical. They keep their physical health secondary, I guess, and the material health priority. So, do you have any, what cultural difference do you see in the US and Indians as the mindset? First question. And second, what physical activities do US people do and the Indians should adopt from them that to keep ourselves healthy?
Well, you are asking two or three questions, so let me take one at a time. The first one is, and they're excellent questions. First one is that I'm very, very delighted and happy to see the younger generation is, just brimming with energy. And I'll tell you, when I was in India with the work I started doing, I always used to say, we can do it. We can do it. And recently, my brother made this movie, Vivek Agnihotri, and I was here at his inauguration and the launch of his movie here in San Jose, California. And when I saw that movie, I was just delighted because it was all can do. We can do it. And that used to be my whole message, my whole thought, that don't think that we can't do it. So I'm very, very delighted to see that, especially younger generation of Indians now, and there's a new excitement and the can-do attitude, and there's a new respect for people who are taking challenges and risks, and women especially. And in this movie, Vaccine War also, that's the thing I admired the most. So I like that. So start with that attitude that yes, we can do it, and all over the world, it's just about the same. World is not that different anymore, and the issues a young Indian is facing is probably a young Vietnamese is facing, or a young American is facing. Yes, of course, the cultural context is different. So, but issues are the same. So, the issue is right now is that younger people, they are ambitious and they want to achieve a lot, and sometimes the our own body takes a lower seat. We are so concerned about making it, being successful. So if you talk to the people who have uh, gone through, most of them will give one advice, and that advice is, as you are involved in your work, make sure that you also care for your body, yourself, and at least keep 30 minutes to an hour before you get started. So if I can just leave our young friends here and everyone just with one idea, that make sure that you commit at least 30 minutes every morning to kind of align yourself, and that will improve your all day, because that investment of 30 minutes, you will feel calmer and healthier and happier. I can this is precisely what we can do. So now your second question was, what exactly we can do in those 30 minutes. So I would say that the first 5 minutes is for gratitude. Just be grateful of whatever you have. Focus on whatever qualities you have, whatever assets you have, because many times we are focused on what we don't have. But just start your day with focusing on what you have. How fortunate you are to be able to wake up, because many people will not wake up this morning. How fortunate you are to be able to have a laptop and connect with the people all over the world. So all those things, make a list of all the items, and start with your diary. So just write down what you're grateful for, and I guess after that, if you can invest another 10 minutes in You can call it by any name you want: mindfulness, meditation. In West, it's more mindfulness. In East, we call it meditation. Or simply set an alarm and for 10 minutes, do nothing. Just try to sit down and watch your breath. And in India, I think we have very good masters and trainers, and so you can learn those things. So now 15 minutes, you have done that. Now I would say 15 minutes, just go for a walk. Or if you have an exercise routine, do it for 15 minutes. If you like treadmill or whatever you like. But start your day at least with these three things: gratitude, some sort of connecting with your deeper self, and some sort of connecting with your body. You can do a yoga for 15 minutes, or pranayama, or treadmill, whatever suits you. So those are the 30 minutes you should start your day with.
Wow. I have read one book, that 5 p.m. Club. Yeah, the author also says the same. Like first 30 minutes of your morning should be like productive as hell. Like you should exercise, you should read, and you should just make mind, body, and soul activate in those 30 minutes. So you can activate your mind with reading books, affirmations, gratitude, and soul with meditations, yoga, and body with exercising. So last few days of for a month, like I have been also be exercising, and I feel the confidence in myself also. Like I feel more motivated, good looking, and inner peace, something like I can do it while feeling I can get, because when you lift the heaviest dumbbell with your hands and it lifts, it gives you a kind of boost in your confidence. So that's something exercises also gives us. Like it gives us confidence. So, sir, can you please elaborate like why you shifted from a technological background to a wellness background? Just because the shift that you got from your wife, or because of some more reasons, like you wanted to change the people feel with themselves or with their bodies and with the mental stress and everything.
Can you repeat that last part, last question,
My
last part of your question?
my question was that like can you elaborate why the that you said that your wife passed away and that was a shift for you for the wellness of happiness and wellness of humans in India, but do you also feel some more reasons that should add up in this reason, like why you started wellness from being a technological background to being a wellness guru?
Okay. Uh, well, I asked a simple question. Like initially, poverty was the key issue. I thought that if we can eliminate poverty, people would be happy. But then I realized that a lot of people with a lot of wealth and enough to eat, but they're still not happy. So physical health cannot guarantee happiness, as we all know. You can be physically very fit, and yet if you are stressed out, if you are, you see younger people at very young age who are physically very fit, but suddenly they drop dead, heart attacks, and they're gone, right? And so we wonder why that happens. Why, in spite of the physical health, people still have issues. And I realize that the mental wellness plays a very important role. In fact, mental wellness where is the key area. If you can, number one, learn to understand your stress, and there is an optimal stress, and there is too much stress. Optimal stress is when some stress is required. I mean, some deadlines are important because that they motivate us to do things. I call them take care of your lifeline, whatever goals you have. But unless you can begin to find a little bit deeper purpose, simply pursuing, I want to do this career because there's more money, is not going to be very helpful in the long run. But if you say, I want to do something because that's where my song is, that's where my passion is, whether it's in travel, whether it's in events, whatever your passion is, that in music, if you look around, people who excel, they are the people who did not worry about what will happen. They just followed their passion, their pursuit. So the second most important thing is to learn that passion. Follow your inner bliss, follow your inner voice, and all of us get those messages in form of if you begin to watch your patterns. For example, what are the movies you like? What are the songs you like? Why do you like those songs? Like for me, आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले. Old Kishore Kumar song was very, very motivating. And I realized that that song is nothing but that imagine. And Kishore Kumar wrote before the song Imagine came out from the Beatles, right? So that song, now I can put it all together. आ चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले जहां गम भी न हो आंसू भी न हो जस प्यार ही प्यार पले. That connected with imagine a world, right, where people are all happy and healthier, and where there are no borders, where are all those kind of ideas. So that was my patterns. So when I begin to connect my patterns, I realize that well-being is my passion, because ultimately everybody wants to be happy and healthy. All our careers are about happiness, health, and kind of in a relay race. So now, but if I have two choices now, if I continue my life in the patterns I have, which I picked up from my parents and in my genes, then of course my life would be a repetition of what my grandfather did. But if I want to lead a different life, then I have to kind of let go of those patterns. For example, you begin to watch, what are my patterns? Okay, I don't like this. I like this. I like sugar. I don't like this food, right? But you begin to realize that it doesn't have to be like that. If I grew up eating jalebi in the morning, but I realize that now that I don't have to eat jalebi, I have a choice, right? So your patterns help you realize things which you do subconsciously. And as you become aware of your patterns, you say, oh my God, I was doing it because that was either I picked up in my environment when I was growing up, or it was it was in my genes. I'm attracted to sugar, for example, right? And when I'm stressful, I tend to reach out and go for that, junk food, or I know it's not good for me, but I'm still eating it, right? Now, the more you begin to become aware that it's a pattern and it's a habit, and you can see that, the moment you are able to see your patterns, you are rising above them. You can smile, you can say, I have a choice now. I don't have to do that. And suddenly the light bulb goes on. And you say, my God, in all these years, I had this choice and I was not exercising it. So you also begin to understand, when do you go out and reach for that last bit of sugar or last bit of food that is not healthy and nourishing for you. So by mastering your mental wellness, by beginning to understand your subconscious and making it more and more conscious, you become a conscious human being. Doesn't take too much, right? If you want to be a conscious human being, you want to eat consciously, you want to do live your life consciously, then just keep putting light on your subconscious. The more your subconscious diminishes, the more your conscious increases, and you become a conscious person. And when you become conscious, now it becomes very easy for you to kind of dictate to your body. Your tongue doesn't control you, your body doesn't control you, but you become the master, which is the idea in all our yoga practices. In any of the practices, you find that is the key idea, that we become the master of our body, we become the master of our mind, and not the other way around.
It
Okay?
takes times. Like if I got to understand, like I do something that is not good for my mental health or my body, but I have to change this A exercise to B. it takes a span of time to just jump onto it, because it's not easy. Like I want to wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, and I'm waking up 8 a.m. in the morning, and suddenly I realizes that it is bad. I have to wake up. It's my real scenario right now. I'm sharing my real scenario with you. I want to wake up early in the morning because I have some work to do that I cannot do in the evening time. So I decided I will wake up 5 a.m. in the morning and I'll complete my work. But it's been like a whole month. I have been not been able to wake up 5 a.m. in the morning. So what's that thing that keeps us stuck to this habit of waking up that 8 a.m. instead of that 5 a.m. And how we can improve that? Like that's the major problem of a, and for because of this, my first thought in the morning is I'm a failure. I cannot do one thing, even one thing that I want. So these are two questions that I want to ask you again. Like, what tips I should apply to build an habit, and these negative thoughts I should overcome it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I totally agree with you. It takes practice. I'm saying all those things to you, but I was struggling with the same thing at your age. So I totally understand where you're coming from. So I would say the first thing is that you begin to visualize already in your mind that you are waking up at 5 o'clock. Okay, that and you already one thing which has really helped me. You always ask this question: why am I waking up at 5 o'clock? Don't say that I'm having a hard time. You say, why am I already doing it? Why am I waking up at 5? And the moment you go, why am I waking up at 5? Your mind will begin to give you answers. It'll tell you why you're waking up at 5, because you understand, and all the whys would come out. So write down on a piece of paper when you say, why am I waking up at so early? So then the answers would come out. Well, I'm waking up so early because it feels so good. I'm waking up so early because I'm going to bed early. I'm waking up so early because my friends, I have made a deal with my friends and they're calling me at 5 o'clock, and I love talking to them. So they call me up and we chat for 5 minutes. So that's why I'm waking up so early. And so on. So you will find that your mind will guide you. It will tell you why you're waking up at 5. So don't ask your mind why I'm not waking up at 5. Ask the mind why I'm waking at 5. And all the answers your mind gives you, write it down and then start practicing them. So the chances, some of the things you're like my mind told you, Dinesh, it's very important for you to get up in the morning, because when you get up in the morning, your whole day goes well, right? All day goes well. And so make a list of the benefits you have, and put them visible. Put them somewhere where you can see them. So it reminds you that why waking up at 5 is so important for you and so beneficial for you. And then write down all the things you can do that may involve going to bed early, that may involve finishing your dinner early. It's a whole series of events. It may involve cutting down your whatever you're doing in the evening, taking it easy, and listening to some music, light music. But one thing I sticks out most important I've found, and we have a 12-step program on the global well-being network in our organization. We offer that 12-week program, and in that program, the very first thing we ask people is to write down why they want to change this habit. And number two, check your commitment, how committed you are. And like generally, I ask people, your commitment to this is how much on a scale of 1 to 10. And only when they say 11, I say, now go for it. If it is and less than 11, then don't even try, because, again, you will add to your failure one more time. So be very sure, pick one habit where you are strongly committed, and then you begin to ask whys. And having done that, having a support group. Like, just imagine if you have a friend who gets up at 5. Just
Yeah.
request that friend, hey, can you call me at 5 o'clock? Your friend calls and both of you chat for a few minutes.
I'm doing this right now. In the previous session, we had talk about this, and you said just make a friend who goes to gym at 5 o'clock. I made that friend, and it's going very nicely. Like she calls me every day 5:30, and because of that, I only go to gym. Otherwise, I would just skip it.
All right. So it's already working for you, Anshika. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. So these are some of the tips. And also keep something like whatever you want to do during the day, put it on your wall. or in the mirror. Bathroom mirror is the best place. As you are brushing your teeth, you remind yourself of what your life is all about, what your purpose is. Like in my bathroom, if you'll find the note, make world happier and healthier. So every morning I remember that. That's my job. So at the end of this call, I'm going to ask you, are you feeling a little bit healthier and happier? And you got some new tips to do what you want to do today? So wonderful. I'm delighted that that's working for you.
Yeah, there are many tips like tips and tricks on YouTube we do, but the thing is that implementations comes with a span of time. We have to give some kind of motivation to us and determination power to just implement it to our lives. And same goes with being happy. Some people are naturally being sad. Like if they have the $1 million, still being sad because I have one less $1 million. So so how can we change that mindset to into being an into being a gratitude type of behavior? We should have that inside us because the people these days are so greedy about things, materialistic things. Being in spirituality also, people want to become spiritual guru in 6 months. Like they are not even practicing things, but their aim is on the result, not on the process. So how can we deal with that thing, like changing our mindsets day by day?
Absolutely. And I think it's amazing because and so many people in India believe in Bhagavad Gita, for example. And Bhagavad Gita, one of the first thing it teaches us to focus on your action, not on the outcome is not in our control, right? But actions are in our control. So I would say uh, if you become aware of that you have a choice in every moment, you don't have live your life with what your grandfather did 10,000 years ago or what you picked up in your early childhood growing up. This is the biggest discovery of life, that every moment you have a choice. So in the morning, you exercise your choice. The first choice you have is to make your bed. I have found that that is such a great thing just to make your bed in the morning. You have already achieved a great deal. You have great sense of achievement, right? Making your bed. So brush your teeth, make your bed, and then sit down. That 30-minute routine I told you. By the time you get up and you have been grateful, you have done your, connected with your deeper self, you took care of your body. Now you're already feeling good, okay? That you have achieved so much. So this simple 30 minutes investment in yourself would get you to that place where you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Now, um, uh, uh, now what do you do? Uh, well, you have several choices now, and one would be to focus on talking about simple ideas. You are asking simple ideas, right? So simple ideas so you can be persistent, don't give up, right? That's your question, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is if you remind yourself that it takes time to develop new habits, you and that's where the what we do is we help people. That means that you are open to new ideas. So when you're whatever idea you're trying, it's not working, don't give up. Get up and try something new. There are millions of people who have had that issue like you are facing today, and they have solved the problem. So you don't have to kind of say, well, I can't do it, so it can't be done. No, just look for that video, look for that book, look for that person, look for that support group where they have solved this problem, and ask them, how did you do it? And you'll find that the problem you're facing, they have also faced, but they were persistent. They never gave up and they kept trying. And so I think that's very important, that you keep trying and you keep searching for, and if you stay with that question, like for example, for getting into the well-being, I have stayed with this question for almost 3 4 5 years. Some of the questions of my life, I have stayed with them for a long time. For example, I wanted to be a global citizen. I did not know what it means, so I just asked myself, what does it mean to be a global citizen? And I stayed with that question for almost 4 or 5 years. It took me to 15 different countries, and I worked with people in 15 countries. I learned a lot, and I realized that being a global citizen simply means that you keep an open mind and you are inclusive. Inclusiveness is a very important thing if you want to be a global citizen. If you don't want to be a narrow-minded person, your identity shifts, right? The moment, if I think I am for example, I used to think, well, I'm a North Indian. But then when I came to US, they said, oh, these are American Indians. And then when I go back to India, I still feel I'm an Indian. I feel take a lot of pride in that. And then I feel I'm a global citizen because I relate to people all over the world. And then off late, I realized that basically I'm a human. I'm a soul going through this human experience, right? So your identity keeps changing, and your questions get better. You
Yeah,
never probably find the answer because infinite search in our life, but you keep asking better and better question. So if you ask this question, that how can I learn this thing? I'm trying to do, I'm not able to learn, but stay with that question. And the answers will come, the books will come your way, the people would come. Universe is amazing. If you stay with the question, the
yeah,
answers will come to you in many different forms.
yes.
Have you noticed that, Anshika?
Yes, yes. Always in my life, I have done that. If I have stayed with something, the solution have come to me automatically.
Right.
It's grace of God, or you say law of attraction, anything. But if I wanted something, it came to me. Like I had worked hard for it also, but it also came to me. Like it's like we both are running towards each other, and we meet.
And I'll tell you, Anshika, one more thing I'd like to add. And this is going to be more challenging for younger people. But once you engage with life, and do what you want to do, achieve your goals, take great pride, satisfy your ego. If you want to be this, you want to do all that, but then be aware that there's something more. And there's a very nice book, The Two Mountains, and it talks about the first mountain being where we want money, power, fame, and we want to engage with life, and we have dreams, we fulfill them, great. But then in the second mountain, you begin to go beyond ego, power, money, and all those things, right? This is more
The
like
spiritual
what some
aspect.
psychologists call it self-actualization. Maslow gave the term to us. In this phase of life, you begin to realize that there's something beyond ego, and you transcend kind of your ego. You make friends with your ego. You are aware of your ego and you appreciate it. It has served its purpose. But now you are ready for even a bigger task of self actualization. And essentially, in this mode, you want to serve. Your identity becomes bigger. You becomes more inclusive. You begin to feel more connectedness with the world, and your circle of compassion expands. Okay, it's not limited to yourself or your nuclear family, but not your city, not your community, not your country, but the whole world. And Dalai Lama calls it universal responsibility. Sadhguru calls it expand your being. So you take responsibility for the whole universe, the whole planet at least. So the moment you feel responsible for the planet, your whole attitude will begin to change. Then you will feel more environmentally conscious, right? I'm
Yeah,
responsible for Mother Earth. It's such a huge, wonderful shift. So I would say that be aware that having achieved the first mountain, which is your immediate career and goals, and all the things we want, then be aware of the second mountain. And if you at least be aware of the second mountain at an early, and some younger people are aware of second mountain at very young age, and they get involved in serving the world at a very young age, right? So be aware that you have these choices. You can get involved in serving the world bigger than your own interest. And I'll tell you one more thing: the moment you pick up the bigger purpose, universe collaborates to support you.
yeah.
Okay,
That
you hear so many stories about that. Universe conspires to support you when you're serving a larger purpose. And believe me, Anshika, it works. It has worked for me every time. Whenever I had a larger purpose, somehow universe conspires to support me,
yeah.
and you become from I to the expanded self. Okay.
Yeah. So everything that you have said is also written in Bhagavad Gita. Like the God Krishna said that everything you do is your dharma and devote it to me. So everything that you have said in spiritual language, we can say is like that. Nothing is yours. It's all your ego. It's all your fame and everything that the house you are getting is all your ego. But everything is left here, and what will be go with you is your spiritual wealth. So the more you will connect to yourself, the more you will know your conscious mind and the God and the universe. The more you will be evolved in helping people. Like you will not be like, "Ki, I want this," but people want this attitude inside you. So let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey, sir. It's been we have been talking about the wellness thing and happiness thing till now. Tell me what challenges did you get and what your program is all about and what all programs, different programs you conduct to make people happy.
So, Ashika, I told you that back last time when I moved back to India and actually lived there in Delhi, the my mission was improve quality, improve productivity, eliminate poverty. That was my mission. And at that time, we were very successful, but I did not want to scale. And again, because of my personal issues, my wife's illness, I came back to US. And after my daughters grew up, and then I and I as I went through the journey of my life, and where what I want to do now is to totally get involved in the well-being, making people happier and healthier. And with that mission, we launched this organization, Global Wellbeing Network. And this time we want to scale. And I was inspired by several people, especially with this sense that why not reach our maximum potential? Why not touch out as many lives as we can? And for me, reaching out to more people is through corporations. So when we work with corporations, and I'm working with few now, and I'm coming to India actually in October to do some of those retreats for several organizations. And in those retreats, what we do is we work with the leadership team and the 12-week program. And we explain it to them. We help them find out their why and help them pick one major habit they want to change and then support them for the next 12 weeks. Every week we'll have a short Zoom call and again some of the tips which we shared with you. And the most important thing is their peer network, their peer support. And with that, we help them change their habit. Then we go to the whole organization. And the leaders now, they have experienced that firsthand. And now they can, there's kind of cascading effect. So, and generally, we don't tell people what well-being is because my experience is most people know what is good for them, but we help them achieve that. So our focus is not on telling them what it is, but our focus in helping them uh, how to achieve that. And then I'm doing some work with pro bono work, which where there is an organization, Kanpur Parivartan Forum, and they have, the population of Kanpur is 3.1 million. So there is a huge target audience. And India is the sugar capital of the world, diabetes capital of the world. And in India, probably Kanpur, with its famous shops like Thagu ke Laddu, Kanpur is known for its mithai and sweets and all that. And it's a huge problem. So when we talk to the doctors there, Dr. Pankaj Gulati of Indian Medical Association, president of Kanpur branch, he told us that diabetes is a major issue next only to the mouth cancer and TB. Diabetes probably is the biggest issue, and it is something we can do something about. It is so easy to reverse diabetes type 2 especially, and your blood pressure and some of the heart disease by reversing your lifestyle. So what we are doing is we are working with Kanpur Parivartan Forum, and they have this lovely team, Anil Gupta and his team of people who are trying to clean Kanpur and trying to make Kanpur healthier and happier. And in that process, on October 2nd, we are going to do a sugar march, like there was a salt march, right? To make people aware that sugar is white poison, as Gandhiji used to call it. And it's if you substitute sugar with fruits, sweet fruits or dry fruits like dates, khajur, and raisins, kishmish, anything, stop eating sugary foods and switch. and start walking 4 miles. Not that hard, right? So to make people aware, on October 2nd in Kanpur, we are going to walk 4 miles and urge people, especially people who are suffering with diabetes type 2 and people, younger people, it's very, very important that you cultivate good habits and be aware. In fact, I would recommend that if you are using sugar, then write down white poison on that jar. So every time you reach out for sugar, keep eating sugar, but be aware that it is white poison. And the more you can reduce that intake and develop good habits now, then it'll be easier for you. And you'll prevent diabetes type 2, especially, and any other disease which are with our lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are some of the habits, some of the work I'm doing, and global well-being network we hope to do is to reach out to people and through corporations, through these organizations, non-profit organizations who are working, make people aware that it's very easy to be happy and healthy if you begin to exercise your choice and begin to get aware of why you're not able to exercise those choices. What is controlling you? Okay. So
Yeah.
that's our mission.
Sir, I have a question for you. Like, as you said, your target companies and corporates and then train the leaders. But don't you think that the problem starts from the family itself? We should cater. We should focus more on the parents and their children. Like, because parenting gives the children the habits and everything. They eat sugar, they wake up early, wake up late, or they don't exercise. All these habits are adapted from the parents itself. So don't you
Right.
think like we should cater the parenting stuffs and should tell parents why for them well-being is good and for why for their younger children well-being is good? Because being younger, if a kid is like 10 or 12 and he understands it's like mental health and he should not have anxiety, should have balanced everything, then in the future he can also be a good parent and good environment all around him and herself. So what do you think about this?
I couldn't agree more with you. Absolutely. In fact, parents need to say, many parents tell their children, uh, do as I say. But children are also very smart. They, if they see their parents are smoking and
They'll
they say, you
smoke.
should not smoke, guess what the children are going to do?
They are going to
So
smoke.
it's, yeah, exactly. So I think you are absolutely right. Parents have to uh, kind of be a role model for their children. But again, I come back to individual. You cannot, let's say your parents are not doing it, or let's say your friends are not doing it, let's say your colleagues are not doing it. Nobody's doing it, right?
Yeah.
But the moment you become aware that you still have that choice, even though nobody is doing it, you can still do it, right?
But sir,
You are not,
yeah.
and this is the key point, you are not a slave to your subconscious. We are not able to change because all these things are happening in subconscious. You're not even aware why you are doing things you are doing, right? Have you experienced that, Anshika?
Yeah.
That sometimes you do things and you don't know why you're doing them. Well, you're doing them because 10,000 years ago, your grandfather was doing them.
It's our DNA
And
right now. it's
right,
it's
right.
a brain
So
memory.
you don't have to do them. I mean, this is is that a hard thing to understand?
Yeah.
It's a simple idea, right? But it takes, sometimes it takes a whole lifetime to practice them. So
Hmm.
I just don't feel frustrated if you're not able to get there, but be aware that you have a choice. You don't have to act like your grandfather. You don't have to act like your parents. You can act independently because you have this beautiful human choice where you can say, okay, I have been sleeping late. I'm going to sleep early. I have not been walking. I'm going to walk. And I'm going to pick up all the books. I'm going to attend all the programs where I get tips. I'm not going to give up if I fail. There's no failure. It's only learning. So, okay, that way didn't work for me. Let me try this way and talk to people. It's working for them, right? So the best thing I have found, whenever I'm trying to do something and I'm not able to achieve, I always look for who are the people who are doing it, right? I wanted
Taking
to be
inspiration.
a transformational coach. So I got hold of people who are very successful. I made them work with them, chilled out with them, hung out with them, and I learned from them, right? So that's what, these are some of the things you can do.
Yeah, but my point was like if we cater to the younger audience, sorry, चलिए गए. Thank you. सर कहाँ चले गए? Yeah, we all are facing these problems. We have anxiety. We say like we don't have anxiety. We are chilled out, but inside, deep inside us, we are like anxiety is killing us. Hello, sir.
Hello. Sorry,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
I'm so sorry. There was some network problem.
No, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, so at the end, I want to say that the habits that we cultivate starts from the younger age. If we give our younger children give them a guidance, like you have to have some type of rules and priorities in your life. Sorry, to to uh, to cater your mental health, physical health. It will go up. It will just cultivate and multiply compounds, and in the adulthood, they will be having like anxiety free life. But the thing you are doing is also very appreciated. Like people on the adulthood that realizes that they are very lacking in their mental health, and they are just just breaking down everything. So from the this conversation, I learned very much informational things, like how I can be happier and healthier at the same time, just being motivated and determined and having a great circle. At the end of this conversation, I want to ask you if you could get some resources and podcasts or books you can suggest people to read and to cultivate that determination and motivation power inside themselves, and being on the path of well-being.
So uh, I I am not reading too many books. I listen more to podcasts and more to, I would say, LinkedIn. Social media. I look for people who are doing great at all ages. The beauty of what I'm discussing with you is age free. You can declare your freedom at any age, and you will notice that some people don't get that freedom at all. They go through their whole life without getting that freedom, and that freedom is from your learned behavior, from your all the things which are lying in your subconscious. The earlier you become aware of your patterns and what's there in your subconscious which is controlling you, the easier it becomes for you to become free. And the look for what is attracting you. What if podcast is your thing, and you want to learn through by audio listening, then do that. If video is your thing, you like to listen to videos, then there are TED talks, and you can these days you can do a Google search. So if you're interested, for example, let's say you are interested in learning more about how to be mm, how to deal with my anxiety, okay, or how to deal with any issue you're having, you'll find tons of resources. And everyone doesn't like everything. Some people, for example, they will go for more spiritual way. Some people go more intellectual. They need to be, they're more scientific, or they're more linear in their thinking, and they want proof, and they want logical steps of what can be done. So just suit yourself. See what. Keep an open mind and search for the right source. I find that for transformation and change, a human touch is very important. So most of my changes have come because there was somebody in my life. For
Surrounding
example,
with right people for the
yeah,
results.
chill out with right people, and the people you admire, and people also hang out with people of all ages. Don't stick with only with people of your age. Hang out with younger people and talk to them. Hang out with older people, because every age has its own joy, its own wisdom. So when you talk to people from different ages, you will learn different things. Younger people will teach you something else. And you know, younger people are way ahead of us. Like I was talking to my daughter, and she said, "Well, it takes me 15 minutes, and she'll do it like in 2 minutes." And I say, "You have to be patient with me, because you know I take 15 minutes, but she'll do it in 2 minutes." She said, "Don't worry, Dad. His daughter or her daughter is doing it like in 30 seconds, and she's only 12 years old." So I think younger generation is way smarter than us, and which is great. If our younger generation was not smarter, then we'll still be running naked in jungles. But every generation has improved on the previous one, right? So I'm very, very happy to see that younger people are getting way ahead in the whole area of well-being, and they are healthier and happier. I already see that happening. They're more aware of environment. They're more aware of their nutritious habits. I'm very, very, very proud of what's happening with the younger generation all over the world, actually. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful advice. And I totally agree with you. Like people of my age and younger generation are getting hang of technology, and that spirituality is hand to hand. Like they are very particular about their mind and soul. But we have majority of people that we can work with, like the brand we are working with. That is for the majority of people that are not getting hang of their well-being. So we are so welcome to India and just give us the hang of being happy and healthy and keep our minds good, anxiety free. So any last thing you want to say to our audience before we end this conversation?
Yeah, just be happy and healthy. Keep smiling,
What
and
are
and
your
and and keep make sure that you make others also happier and healthier. So one of the questions I had asked Anshika, now are you feeling healthier and happier at the end of this conversation?
Yeah, I'm very after listening to your perspective. It's very like I'm feeling very light. Like the things are that you said that people are suffering from same thing that you are suffering from. It makes you feel like I'm one of them and I can improve it, and I'm not that loser type of person that people think. But I have to just
Right.
work on my determination power and my mental well-being to get on the things. So yeah, I'm feeling rejuvenated and feeling like yeah, I can do it. Like after this I can do it.
Absolutely, and just never. Only thing I would say is never give up. It's all learning. So you always say that, what can I do differently now? I have tried this way, and as an entrepreneur also, I was interviewing one of the successful entrepreneur, and he told me that he when he launched his new company, and his company was sold for a huge sum of $1 billion, and the two of them partners. And he told me one of the things which always stuck with me. He said that for almost for 6 months, they were calling for customers from 9 to 5 every day, and they did not have a single success. It took them 6 months to get their first customer. Can you believe that? For 6 months, going religiously to your office, and from 9 to 5, you're calling and you don't have one success. They never give up. How many people would give up after
Many
6 months, right?
99%.
Correct. So it always takes that 1% to be a successful entrepreneur. That's why the 99% don't make up, they give up. And not only with entrepreneurship, with anything you want to do, if you want to excel in your life, Like if you want to get a gold medal, right? How many people want a gold medal in Olympics or in
Everyone.
anything? Probably a million,
But the
maybe.
question is, how many wants to do that hard work and that sacrifice for that gold medal?
Exactly.
That's
And
not. That's
essentially,
only 1%.
how many don't give up and how many keep an open mind to keep learning different ways. Those are the two key factors.
Yeah.
So I would my final message is, don't give up, keep an open mind, keep learning, and always be joyful doing that. And how do you do that? You ask every moment you find yourself going downward, you say, why am I so joyful? Right? Why am I so joyful? Why am I so happy? And your mind would take you. Don't ask the question, why am I so sad? You say, why am I so joyful? Why am I so happy? Why am I so much in the flow? And your mind will take you. You are so much in the flow because you're talking to Anshika. And Anshika is a great person, right? Your mind will immediately take you towards things which it knows. What would it take to be a joyful person? So
Or
that
yeah.
is the most important thing I've learned, is to always ask the question, why am I already there? Why am I whatever you want, right? And that
Instead
it
of
begins
being
to
on
give you self guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of being in the sorrow side, be on the happier side, because there will be something that you are happy for, like the
But
gratitude,
no, but there is a
attitude.
subtle difference. I'm not saying that you be on the happier side. I'm saying you say, why am I so successful? Why
Yeah,
am I so joyful? And then listen to your own guidance, because your inside, your deeper self knows what you have to do.
yeah. That's
Okay.
very that's very deep, and I'm gonna practice it from now. From saying why I'm feeling so low, I'll just flip that question and say why I'm
Yeah.
feeling so joyful and what's driving me into it.
Now, initially, you fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
Initially, it'll appear very fake. You say, "How can I say I'm joyful when I'm so sorrow? I'm so sad, right?" But you say, "Okay, I'm going to try it anyway because I heard somewhere, and this thing might work, right?" So yeah, why am I so joyful? And then just think about it, why you're so joyful, or just listen to your deeper voice, and it'll begin to tell you you're so joyful because you can breathe. A lot of people are not able to breathe, right? You're so joyful because you can walk. A lot of people, you look around, they're not able to walk, right? So you have so many things. Your whole body is working. The planets are working. If there's a meteor, the life will be over. So the whole universe is operating so beautifully. So you'll begin to your deeper self will begin to guide you, and will begin to tell you all those wonderful things which you're not even aware are happening right now. And you'll begin to smile slowly, and you'll say,
yeah.
"Wow, I'm really joyful now."
Yeah, that's true. Thank you,
Okay.
Dinesh, sir, for being with us today with Smug Hawk A.M.A sessions, and we are looking forward to have another session with you and talk more deeply on this topic.
So on October 14th in Delhi, I'm planning to have a get together. And what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is to invite people who want to mentor younger people. And I want to invite younger people who want to be mentored. So it'll be like we'll try to bring the mentor and the mentees together on October 14th in New Delhi. So look out for that. We'll publish it on my LinkedIn profile, and we'll also publish it on our website, globalwellbeing.us.
So, okay, sir.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you so much,
we'll also
Anshika.
promote that. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you so much, Anshika, and your whole team. And
Thank you.
apologize for the network problems we had in
No
between.
problem. No
Okay.
problem.
Keep smiling and be happier and healthier.
Same to you, sir.
Okay.